Hello there, and welcome to the video, new ladies and gentlemen. And this video will be dedicated to Anomic. And this is basically a little introduction, so you can learn more about this. So if you're a new beginner player, or your friend needs to learn how to play this new game, I'll recommend you get shared in this video. Now let me just give some quick background information about Anomic. Anomic is a game on Roblox, and it's Anomic. A-N-O-M-I-C, I believe, and the game takes place around the 90s, and in between the two states of Arizona and Nevada. So, no further ado, let's get right into the video. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you first play Anomic and you play it, you'll be met with the screen. Now let me just go over the basics. Up here is your location. This is Archway, the main town where everybody's at. East Lake, we got Prump, and there's also more towns, but they're not on here. Let me just go over a quick brief of the jobs. I'll go into the detail of the jobs later on in the video. Okay, the first job is Deliverant, 300, Advanced Gunsmith, Dealer, Safe 7, and many more. Now, in Anomic, it's important to pick what job you want. Some of these jobs require game passes, and some jobs require help, like this one, which can only be activated by the mayor. But I'll go over the jobs later. When you first start the game, you always start as a civilian. And when you first start the game, I recommend you start in Archway. So press spawn, and that's where you start off. Let's go off. Now, let's start off with the basic knowledge of the controls. When you first spawn, you either spawn over here or way over there. Alright? And over here, there's these little boards on the map. I recommend you read them. But let's start off with the basics. Press G to look in your backpack. You got backpack and event items. This is how you look here. You can also save items on this by holding an item and pressing V. Now, it is best to know that job items cannot be saved, and I'll explain that later on. Another thing is C will get your phone. This phone is on everyone, and you can use it to do messages, to send messages to people. Just put in their username right here. You got service call to get these people if you need help. Advertise to advertise the store if you ever open one. Turn on and off phone. If you have an off, you will not get any notifications. If you have and if it's on, well, you won't get, and you will get notifications. Report stolen cars if you get a vehicle stolen, and I'll explain that later on as well. Another key detail is the T. Press T to enter the team state. Now right here is where you get ammo and printers. I'll explain printers in a little bit. And there's also current mayor voting. Now, when the mayor ever disconnects or just leaves the game, or whatever happens to the mayor, or if he just dies, well, then you can vote a new mayor or be the mayor yourself. Create crews, game pass, 900 bucks, 900 Robux, and crews. To join crews, you press on them, and sometimes you just get right in. But they require, but the leader of the crew has to accept. And now, let me get a little bit more into detail. When you first play the game, make sure you go to all your controls and remember first. And another thing are settings. As you can see here, there's job vehicle, but I don't have a job vehicle. It is also recommended as new players is to always have the location markers on, so you can learn where everything is. And there's also this system, interaction system, low graphics. Now, if you have a very bad PC or just bad internet, I recommend you have this on. But quick warning, when you activate this, there's no going back, and the only way is to rejoin, as it cannot be disabled. New player audio, so you can't hear people's beatboxes. Use old weapon animations, up to you. I like to use them. And there's also playtime. It explains how long you play. And move headsets. But that's for jobs. And that is part 1 of basically how you do this. Alright. Let's start off with going more into detail about the jobs. Deliverant, like I said, when you join it, you get to deliver mail, or stuff. You go to the airfield and you pick it up and you deliver it. This basically, you're just giving people stuff. One quick tip is I can always steal it at the start, and it's pretty interesting. Advanced Gunsmith. Well, you get a bunch of guns. And also, one thing I forgot to explain is when you go into team shot, you might be able to get different items depending on the job you have. And some jobs you cannot join. See, this one is full. Wait, yeah, this one's full. So if I try joining, it won't let me in. But if you did Game Pass that lets you bypass this, then that won't be a problem. And like I said, the military is probably one a good job, but the only problem is the mayor has to call the military. Tow trucker. These jobs, you should probably figure out these people. But I know as a newcomer, you'll most likely pick criminal because you think it's pretty cool. As criminal, you get new towns: East Pelest and Oakstep. I recommend Pruma because it's the closest to Anomic. Now, I would recommend as a civilian, you should probably grind some money and buy a car first from the town, as well. Prompt is mostly just abandoned. No one, a little old ghost town. So let me just explain a little bit more about this. So pretend out of nowhere you find a weapon or something, or some random item. Sometimes you can pick it up, and you can use it. Let me explain guns real quick. This is a gun. You can find it, and it shoots. Yeah, the guns are kind of goofy. Shift to run. Very simple. And when you die, you drop your gun, and people can take it. But what if you're about to leave the game? Well, if you're gonna leave the game, press V on your weapon you're holding. It will save it. So you can go into your backpack, like I said, and click on it and equip it. And if you're a new player and you're a criminal, I recommend that you should probably do this. When you have a lot of money, I think you should probably start buying printers. These are printers. You buy one, and it makes money for like $5. This simple printer makes money. Make sure you hide them, or the police or some random people will just take it. I'll usually buy them and I'll hide them behind this tree. That's a good tip. I hide them wherever. Just don't hide in very obvious areas. And these printers, you can just leave them there and pray no one takes them. They're pretty good. When you buy one, they just kind of pop up on top of you and they just fall off your character and they just lay on the ground. You can pick them up. And you can look at them and you figure out how to pick them up. It's best that you just start printer grinding, and it's best to go in a town or area where you will never be found and you just keep printing money. Now, when you start picking money and you pick them up, you get a wanted level. Now, when you get a wanted level, you cannot save weapons. So just pretend I'm wanted, and it will say on top of me, it'll be red. Now, one quick thing is that the government roles, like police, sheriffs, military, and all that, they can now have the ability to shoot you when you get the wanted. Once you're wanted, they can shoot you. So be careful about that. Okay, now let's pretend you got your first car. You get your car, you spawn it in the green marker. F to unlock it, E to get in. You can L to lock it, L to unlock it, Q and E to use the turn signals, K to kick out any players that are inside your car because you don't want them in your car, H to do the horn, and on some cars there's a siren. To activate the siren, you press F. This car does not have a siren. Cops cars do. Now, if you die and your car's there, someone can take it and you'll never probably get it back. And this is how you use the report. If this car gets stolen, you can see right here, police can find it. The only problem is that sometimes it just doesn't work and your car never gets found again. But don't worry, because you can always buy another one. If you don't want to lose your car, just press V, and it just gets in your back. But there's also events. Let me explain events real quick. Every now and then, Anomic has an event that happens. Every now and then. And when these events happen, they give out event items. Event items, well, when they're in the event, they're pretty cheap because it's very cheap. But once the event is over, they're now very rare and hard to get. Like this patriotic truck. One cool thing about event vehicles, though, is that you can blow this up and it will respawn. It would just take about 10 minutes for it to come back. So you can lose these as many times as you want. And one interesting fact is that if you cannot find it or you just don't know where the hell it is, you can always just go over here and press the spawn vehicle, job vehicle. You can also do this on jobs. So like some jobs like police and sheriffs, you'll get like a car they can run around, and you can just do that. Sometimes you have to pay for it if it gets towed though. If it gets towed, you have to pay a fine of 400. But another thing is that you have to fill these things up with gas. Let me just explain that real quick. Sometimes you'll find gas stations. This is not a gas station, but the towing company. But we'll use it because I do not know where any gas stations are. How to use gas fillers? Well, you just park up right next to one. You jump out. You go next to it. You press U, and you hold this, and it refills your gas. It takes money in your bank account, and sometimes makes you go broke. But it's all the normal. And one good tip is that I would recommend trucks if you're going off-road. Because I'm not lying, but if you get any normal vehicle, some normal vehicles are not good for driving on this terrain. Trucks are very well. And this truck I have is an event vehicle, so it's probably going to be very expensive if you try to get this. But you can bargain with people. Now you're probably wondering, well, what if I get a bunch of junk in my backpack and I don't want it and I'm trying to store my things? You can one, drop it by pressing X to drop items while holding it, or you could and hold. It will say arresting and then for it to load. And like I said, you can also get a vehicle. Oh my god, watch out. Now you cannot keep this vehicle, but like I said, it has silence. And you drive around and your job is to stop wanted people. Like this. But not all the time, you can always stop them. And most of the time you get shot at, so just be aware of it. Yep, just like right there. I got shot at. Who exactly? It is unknown. But this is one great example of how it works. You can also get outlaw just for running over people on the sidewalks. Because you just want to be, I guess, a bad person. And do that. But the sheriff job is pretty good, as you'll get experience and how combat experience works in this game. Especially a good idea of how guns work. What the hell? He just got killed. Also with that, always remember this tip. To find outlawed people, you always want to check within buildings. Because some outlaw people will actually just hide. And sometimes you also get service calls like this. What a service call is that someone trying to call you. And if you reach the area, you'll get an award. So let's go report to the service call. And I think that service call's right behind me. Now these service calls are not like connected to one person, they're areas specifically. So if I get within this area and see what's wrong. Let's see. Do I need a gun? No, I'm broke by 23. No, I'm negative 20. Time to go. I can't buy it. I can't buy. Can't buy. Also, you can also get in. You also have to pay for people's cars you blew up. So say I just wanted to blow someone's car up, and if I do that, I have to pay for it. And I did that last time, and I didn't. It's not looking too good for me. But there was a good idea of the trading system, except a decline. But you lose money, and I can't accept it. He is dead. Here's a good tip. You can always press it, and it says arresting, like that little thing you saw for a millisecond. But if you want to. But I need to make money fast. Well, another good idea is to hunt down printers. Like I said, as a criminal, when you're a new player, I recommend you should start printing. But printing is illegal. So as a cop, you can go find printers, and use a baton and hold on the printer to break it or interact with the printer or something. I don't know. And you'll get the money from it. And also you'll also get to destroy the printer at the same time. So it's a win-win. The only problem is finding printer people is very hard because they really hide really good. They don't hide in town. They hide in this video. And if you guys want part 2, well, we'll just get 10 likes and maybe, yeah, just 10 likes and I'll make a part 2 later on. But you can also claim places like I said. You save like this if you have a save and load empty. By buying it, you are now the owner. We also have to pay money. Let me just go over the basics of owning a plot. Make sure you explore your plot and this plot you own. Press B to go into build mode. You can see all these things you can spawn in. You got counters you can spawn in. If you want to get rid of it, press X and go on it and it's gone. Press on it again. You got gun detectors. Now let me go over one thing that you can never do in this game. If you're like a bad person and you decide to just block off this area like this, so people can't kill you, and if you do this with the mayor as well, so people can't kill you, well, you're gonna get banned from the game for a while. There are many rules in Anomic, and I will not explain them, but that's just one of them. No prop blocking. This will be called prop blocking. Alright? I'll be explaining this prop blocking. But you can also use these areas to hide printers as well. But just find an area that's very far down. But because you own these plots, you can actually unlock players. Alright? Now, what if you want to become the mayor? Well, you just go here and wait for this guy to die. Because I'm not the mayor, I do not have much to explain. But here's the basics of being a mayor. When you are a mayor, your job is to basically protect the town. You get paid $500 every 5 minutes, which is a good thing. But as a mayor, you only get 5 lives. If you die 5 times, you're done as a mayor. And how to become a mayor? Well, wait for the previous mayor to quit his job or just die a bunch of times. Or you could go out and kill him a bunch of times. And you can vote for mayor. It will say, become the new mayor, and you have to make your speech right here. Many people will choose to vote, and this is also the same area you vote. But because there's a current mayor, you cannot do anything. Now, this will be the end of the video, as I've run out of ideas. And I'll see you next time. Like and share. I'm out. Bye.